Hello, and welcome back once again to the Property Spreadsheet. Actor components are a great way to organize reusable functionality or sets of data on multiple different actors. Unfortunately, in order to edit the properties of those components, you have to open each actor blueprint individually, even if you want to modify just a single value. But we are here to change that. With Update 1.2 of the Property Spreadsheet, you can now edit the components of all your blueprints at the same time. Let me show you how. Oftentimes when working with actor blueprints, you have a folder structure like the one in the bottom left, where each actor is stored in its own folder alongside its mesh, materials and other associated assets. Luckily, we can edit any set of assets in the same spreadsheet, including blueprints, without picking apart the folder structure. I will create the spreadsheet here in the parent folder. When I open it, as you can see, the spreadsheet is currently empty, since the parent folder itself does not contain any other assets. So let's go to the settings, down to folders and check Include subfolders. To filter out all the assets that aren't actor blueprints, check Constraint to Class up here and specify the class of asset the spreadsheet should be constrained to. In our case, it will be actor, but really you can choose any class you want, including your own custom blueprint classes. If you want to include actors from other sources in the project, like asset packs for example, you can check Use Custom Folder Paths and add as many additional paths to this list as you need. However, keep in mind that Include subfolders applies to all paths in this list as well. Editing actors and blueprints in general was already possible since the Property Spreadsheet's release. What's new is that, when selecting an actor, the component tree is now shown above the Details panel in the top right corner. You can select each component and the Details panel will change to that component's properties, the same way it does in the Scene Outliner or Blueprint Editor. From here you can add properties as columns to the table with the familiar pin buttons. As long as components have the same name, they are treated as the same component in the spreadsheet table, which means their shared properties are displayed in the same columns and can be multi-selected and bulk edited. This is true even if the components have different positions in the component hierarchy, like this additional static mesh component that is attached to the root component in this actor, but parented to another mesh in the other actor. Since it's easy to lose your overview when working with components, here are 3 general editing tips. Tip number 1. If you need to pin multiple properties of the same name, like these 2 static meshes, you can rename the columns of those properties to be more descriptive. This is only a spreadsheet setting and does not change the underlying property name. Tip number 2. When a table entry does not have a pinned property, the table grays out the cells with this hatching. That way, you can easily identify actors that do or do not have a particular component property, and therefore you can sort your actors for specific components while editing. Tip number 3. You can create multiple spreadsheets for the same data source with different sets of pinned properties. To demonstrate, let's just duplicate our current spreadsheet. In this new spreadsheet, I can go to the Settings tab, delete all the columns using this dropdown, and then pin other properties like the ones of my item stats component that is attached to all of my actors. Now I have one dedicated spreadsheet for visual adjustments and another one for balancing. Speaking of visual adjustments, since you have probably seen me tinker with texts and numbers plenty of times by now, I'm trying something new this time. I've created a couple of actors that consist of a placeholder mesh, this magic circle, and a light source. In my spreadsheet, I pinned the static mesh and some of its transforms. And since I'm doing this on a single monitor, I made a second spreadsheet where I pinned the Niagara asset of the particle system component, as well as the light Z position and its color. I have also set up all my actors in a scene, so I can actually see what I'm doing. So let's set these up. Mind that I'm only working on the blueprints here. The instanced actors in the level are changed indirectly. A major advantage of using the property spreadsheet for this is that there are no distractions to the workflow. No opening each blueprint individually, no switching between components, and looking for the right property in the Details panel. Even if I didn't pin a property, having all these elements in a single list helps me make the changes I want to make much faster than before. I'm going to speed up the rest of this segment. If you don't want to watch it in its entirety, feel free to skip to the next one at this timestamp. Update 1.2 also brings some additional changes to the property spreadsheet. The pin button of certain built-in struct properties now has this little menu button next to it, which allows you to access invisible child properties and add them to the table individually. This is how you add, for example, the axes of the transform vectors of scene components. We have also reworked the Details panel widgets and table widgets of data handle structs, like the data table and curve table row handles, data registry IDs, and scalable floats. Pinning their child properties is now not only possible, but their dropdowns and constraints are correctly applied to their table cells as well, which should make data-driven workflows a lot smoother. And last but not least, we have upgraded the plugin to the new Unreal Engine version 5.8. Additionally, as per user request, we also downgraded the plugin to be compatible with version 5.3, so it doesn't matter if you are fast or slow to upgrade, we got you covered. We hope this video gave you a good idea of how the property spreadsheet can improve your component-based workflow. You can find the full list of changes in the changelog section of our documentation or store page. If you'd like to support our continued development, we would greatly appreciate if you left us a review on the web store. And if you have any questions or would like to propose a new feature, feel free to tell us, either down in the comments or on our Discord. You can find a link to it and our other socials in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to get notified when we release a new video. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon!